China's secret 8,000-man ghost army. What drives a man to build an entire army for the afterlife? Not of ethereal spirits, mind you, but of 8,000 silent, life-sized soldiers, each with a face as unique as your own. They lay buried for over 2 millennia, meticulously arranged to protect a single emperor, a ruler so powerful and so paranoid that he thought even death couldn't stop his enemies. This isn't just a tomb, it's a statement, a chilling testament to one man's monumental ambition. Picture this. It's March 1974. 4 farmers, just trying to eke out a living, are digging a well in the parched, dusty fields outside Xi'an, China. The sun beats down, the soil is stubborn. Their shovels clink against something hard, something unexpected. Must be an old brick, one might have grumbled, or maybe some bronze from an ancient pot. They keep digging, probably annoyed, just wanting to hit water. But then, a head pops out of the dirt, not a human head, thank goodness, but a clay one. An ear, a nose, a glare that seems eerily alive, staring out from beneath 2,000 years of earth. Can you imagine the shock? The sheer, disbelieving awe? Word spreads like wildfire through the quiet village. Within hours, the army that no living soul had seen since the fall of the mighty Qin dynasty was blinking in the harsh daylight, unearthed from its long slumber. Archaeologists, their knees practically trembling with a mixture of excitement and disbelief, rushed to the site. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected to find a full-scale battle formation, meticulously preserved, waiting patiently under what was once a peach orchard. This wasn't just a few statues, this was an entire military command, frozen in time. The first pit alone, a cavernous expanse, measures the length of 7 football fields and holds an estimated 6,000 infantry figures. It's a staggering sight, a testament to an emperor's ego and the incredible craftsmanship of an ancient civilization. Those humble farmers? They became accidental celebrities. Today, one of them, Yang Zifa, still signs books in the museum gift shop, the very same man who once worried he'd merely broken a water pipe. From a routine chore to uncovering one of the greatest archaeological wonders of all time, talk about a life-changing day. The discovery immediately captured global attention, earning its place as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and forever altering our understanding of ancient China. It wasn't just an archaeological dig, it was a window into a forgotten world, a dramatic unveiling of a secret history that had been buried just beneath our feet for centuries. Who needed 8,000 bodyguards in death? So, who was this man, this enigmatic figure who commanded such an extravagant eternal guard? Enter Ying Zheng, later known to history as Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. This wasn't some gentle scholar king. He was a product of the brutal warring states period, a time when rival kingdoms constantly clashed in a desperate struggle for dominance. His state, Qin, was arguably the most militarized, a ruthless war machine forged in the crucible of constant conflict. He took the throne at a tender 13, a boy king in a man's world. But don't let his age fool you. By 29, he had systematically swallowed 6 rival kingdoms whole, unifying disparate states through sheer force and strategic brilliance. He didn't just conquer, he revolutionized. He literally invented the word emperor, Wangdi, standardizing everything from writing scripts and currency to weights, measures, and even the width of cart axles across his vast new empire. Imagine the sheer audacity, the iron will, to reshape an entire civilization from the ground up. But every reform, every conquest, earned him enemies. Lots of them. 3 documented assassination attempts left him understandably jumpy, convinced that death was just another battlefield, another challenge to overcome. He became obsessed with immortality, a common pursuit for powerful rulers, but Qin Shi Huang took it to an extreme. Ancient texts tell us he dispatched fleets of ships, laden with young men and women, to scour the seas for the legendary island of immortals, hoping to find elixirs of eternal life. When his alchemists inevitably failed, when their potions proved useless, he pivoted. If he couldn't live forever in the flesh, he would rule forever underground. The solution? Duplicate his entire world, starting with the very military that had crushed the 6 states and forged his empire. But here's the genius, and perhaps the paranoia. The afterlife, he reasoned, might be crowded with the vengeful ghosts of his conquered enemies. A ruler as powerful and feared as he was would surely need protection. So, he decided to bring his own army, bigger, better, and made of clay that would never rot, never betray, and always stand ready for his command. It was a massive undertaking, a grand, macabre vision of an eternal empire beneath the earth. He wasn't just planning a tomb, he was building a subterranean kingdom, complete with its own bureaucracy, its own infrastructure, and, of course, its own invincible army. This colossal project began around 246 BCE, a full 36 years before the emperor's death. Think about that for a moment. Planning your own funeral with such extreme prejudice, such meticulous detail, while still very much alive and reigning. It's a rare case of future-proofing taken to an unimaginable extreme. More than 700,000 conscripts, craftsmen, potters, armorers, even convicts, were marched to the foot of Mount Li, the chosen site for this monumental undertaking. This wasn't just a workforce, it was a small city of laborers, toiling ceaselessly. Their task was immense. Carve out 11 kilometers of underground real estate, a sprawling complex that would serve as the emperor's eternal palace and military base. Imagine the engineering challenge. Clay, the primary material for the warriors, was quarried nearby, then meticulously mixed with lacquer, finely ground quartz, and, disturbingly, a hint of toxic mercury. Yes, the very same mercury the emperor himself was reportedly drinking in his misguided quest for immortality. It was believed to have preservative properties, a cruel irony given its deadly nature. The creation process was a marvel of ancient mass production combined with individual artistry. Bodies were pressed in standardized molds, allowing for rapid assembly. But here's where the magic, and the human touch, came in. Each head was sculpted by hand. This meant every single soldier was given a distinct jawline, a unique mustache, a specific set of cheekbones, even different hairstyles. It's theorized that these faces might have been modeled on real troops, giving the emperor a sort of eternal census of his loyal warriors. Arms were then attached, followed by meticulously crafted armor plates, each the thickness of a credit card, surprisingly light but strong enough to hold real bronze weapons. Kilns, operating at a scorching 1000 degrees Celsius, fired the individual pieces, hardening the clay into durable terracotta. Before burial, artisans stamped names, dates, and workshop codes onto the figures. This wasn't just for record-keeping, it was an early, sophisticated system of quality control. If a spear broke in the field, or a warrior's arm crumbled, supply officers knew exactly which foreman or workshop to blame. It ensured accountability and maintained the highest standards for the emperor's eternal guard. This modular production technique, creating interchangeable parts that could be assembled and customized, was incredibly advanced for its time, demonstrating a level of industrial organization rarely seen in the ancient world. The Terracotta Army isn't just a random collection of statues, it's a meticulously organized military formation, a frozen snapshot of Qin dynasty battlefield strategy. Pit 1, the largest and most impressive, holds the main shock force. Imagine rows upon rows of archers out front, ready to unleash a volley of deadly arrows. Behind them stand the heavy infantry, their clay forms solid and imposing, followed by chariots on the flanks, just as described in ancient Qin battlefield manuals. This was a fighting force, strategically arranged for maximum impact. Pit 2 adds even more complexity to the emperor's eternal army. Here, you find the cavalry, saddled horses, their legs caught mid-stride, frozen in a gallop, ready to burst forth from the earth. Their riders, equally dynamic, are poised for action. And Pit 3? That's the command bunker, the nerve center of this subterranean military operation. It houses high-ranking generals, identifiable by their elaborate, double-flowered headdresses, distinct from the common soldiers. They stand ready, eternally strategizing, overseeing their silent troops. Current estimates push the total number of figures past 8,000 warriors, complemented by over 670 horses and 130 chariots. But it's not just the sheer numbers that are impressive, it's the technology. The bronze swords discovered among the ranks remain razor-sharp to this day, thanks to an astonishingly advanced anti-rust technology, a thin layer of chromium oxide, essentially chrome plating. This is a technological feat the West wouldn't rediscover until the 20th century. The arrows still fit their crossbow grooves perfectly, and one ancient bow, restrung in a modern lab, shot an incredible 160 meters on its very first test. This wasn't some ceremonial toy set for the afterlife. This was a functional arsenal, meant to kill, and kill twice if necessary, defending the emperor in both life and death. Recent excavations continue to yield even more treasures, including intricate chariot regalia, delicate jade and gold adornments, and beautifully crafted bronze vessels, further painting a picture of the wealth and technological prowess of the Qin dynasty. Fast forward to this year, 2025. Modern science is finally beginning to peel back more layers of the Terracotta Army's secrets, and what we're finding is both astounding and, frankly, a little terrifying. Sensors lowered into micro cracks within the unexcavated areas record mercury vapors at levels 3 times what's considered safe. This isn't just a random anomaly, it eerily confirms ancient chronicles that described rivers of quicksilver flowing inside the emperor's unopened tomb. Imagine a literal underground river of liquid metal, believed by Qin Shi Huang to mimic the real rivers of his empire and, perhaps, to grant him immortality or ward off evil spirits. But the dangers don't stop there. Soil core samples also reveal alarming spikes of arsenic and lead, likely originating from the mass-produced lacquer coatings on the figures and the vibrant pigments used to paint them. The sobering takeaway? The entire burial mound, the emperor's final resting place, might just be the most elaborate, ancient biohazard capsule on Earth. This stark reality has forced Chinese authorities to freeze further excavation of the main tomb. The risks are simply too high. We're talking about not only the immediate danger to archaeologists but also the immense challenge of preserving any organic remains, think silk, wood, or even the emperor's actual body, the instant they're exposed to air after 2 millennia. Modern technology simply isn't quite ready to neutralize these poisons safely while simultaneously preserving delicate artifacts. So, for now, the real secrets. An underground palace rumored to be filled with treasures, a star map studded with pearls on its ceiling, and yes, possibly the emperor's actual body, remain sealed beneath a grassy hill that, to the casual observer, looks disappointingly quiet. The true nature of the tomb's security and the emperor's extreme paranoia about immortality are becoming clearer with every new scientific discovery, hinting at even greater wonders and dangers yet to be fully uncovered. It's one of the most remarkable aspects of the Terracotta Army, the individuality. Despite the sheer numbers, modern 3D scans have confirmed what casual observers have long suspected. Each warrior is unique. Their ears, for example, are as distinctive as human fingerprints. No 2 helix curves match perfectly. It's an incredible feat of ancient artistry and organization. How did they achieve this on such a massive scale? There are a couple of compelling theories. One suggests that the artists either copied living soldiers, perhaps taking molds or detailed sketches, creating a kind of eternal roll call of the emperor's actual military manpower. Imagine, a clay backup drive of every warrior who ever fought for the emperor, ensuring his loyal legions would accompany him into the next life. Another theory posits that while modular parts were used for efficiency, perhaps standardized torsos or legs, skilled artisans then individually sculpted and hand-chiseled the finer details. The precise curve of a cheekbone, the specific style of a hair bun, even the intricate patterns on shoe treads. This allowed for both mass production and a powerful sense of individuality. It was, in essence, a sophisticated assembly line with a final, personalized touch. This individuality also served as a powerful piece of propaganda. The message was clear. Look, every single soldier in this vast army is loyal to me. It reinforced the emperor's absolute power and the unwavering devotion of his forces, even in death. Either way, the result feels eerily human. When you stand before a rank of these ancient sentinels, silent and watchful, they don't feel like mere statues. They stare back, and you can almost feel the weight of 2 millennia of history in their clay eyes. It's a profound connection to a lost world, a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and the ultimate ambitions of an emperor. The grand vision of Qin Shi Huang, however, didn't last long after his own demise. Within a mere 5 years of his death in 210 BCE, the empire he had so ruthlessly forged began to crumble. Rebellion swept across the countryside, fueled by widespread discontent over harsh laws and forced labor. The very people who had built his empire rose up against it. In the ensuing chaos, looters, likely driven by desperation and a desire to desecrate the symbols of the hated Qin dynasty, broke into the Terracotta Army pits. They weren't seeking archaeological treasures, they were looking for anything valuable, anything they could repurpose or sell. They smashed the tops of many of the warriors, perhaps to remove metal weapons or simply out of spite. Then, in a final act of destructive fury, they torched the massive wooden roof beams that supported the underground chambers. The immense conflagration caused the wooden roofs to collapse, sending tons of earth and timber crashing down onto the ranks of the clay soldiers below. It was a scene of utter devastation. Falling timber crushed entire ranks where they stood, freezing a moment of ancient chaos. Horses lie split in half, their clay forms shattered, a poignant snapshot of the violent end to the Qin dynasty. Archaeological evidence, like X-rays of some figures, even shows attempts at repair during the later Han dynasty, suggesting that some parts of the army were salvaged or re-erected before being forgotten once more. For 2 millennia, this broken army slept under the roots of apricot trees and silent fields, until that fateful day when a well-digger's spade hit clay bone, bringing them back into the light. Today, the Terracotta Army is no longer a forgotten secret. It's a global phenomenon, drawing upwards of 10,000 visitors a day to Xi'an. People from every corner of the world flock to witness this extraordinary testament to ancient ambition and artistry. The army's fame isn't confined to China. Traveling exhibitions have visited over 45 countries, captivating audiences worldwide. Remember when London's British Museum hosted an exhibition? The queues looped endlessly around Russell Square, a clear sign of the universal fascination these silent sentinels inspire. Transporting these ancient warriors is no small feat. Each lone warrior must travel in 2 custom-built crates, head separated from body. Why such meticulous care? Because the heads alone can weigh up to 20 kilos, and the shoulders, despite their robust appearance, are surprisingly fragile and prone to cracking under vibration. The logistics are mind-boggling, and the insurance? It runs to a staggering $150 million US per tour. These aren't just artifacts, they're priceless ambassadors from a bygone era. Meanwhile, back in Xi'an, the legacy of Qin Shi Huang's vision continues in an unexpected way. 3D printers are churning out souvenir miniatures, allowing visitors to take a piece of this ancient wonder home. It's a curious echo of the emperor's original business model, mass production on an unprecedented scale. His desire for an army that was both standardized and individually impressive has found a new, modern manifestation. The Terracotta Army is more than just an archaeological site. It's a living monument, a constant source of wonder, education, and cultural exchange. A true UNESCO World Heritage Site that continues to shape our understanding of history and art. If you've stood in front of these clay soldiers, felt their silent gaze, tell us which face stuck in your memory. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and share this video with the history nut in your group chat. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, failed in his desperate quest to live forever. His elixirs were poisons, his fleets never found the island of immortals, and his dynasty crumbled just years after his death. Yet, here we are, over 2,000 years later, still speaking his name, still marveling at his creations. It's proof that sometimes the boldest, most audacious answer to death isn't to defeat it, but to defy it with such monumental style that your legacy becomes immortal anyway. 8,000 silent troops stand ready, not just to guard one man in his eternal slumber, but to remind every visitor that history rewards the fearless. It rewards the visionaries, the ones who dared to dream on an epic scale, even if their methods were ruthless. And sometimes, just sometimes, it buries them with an unforgettable, breathtaking style. His tomb may remain sealed, its deepest secrets guarded by ancient poisons, but the Terracotta Army ensures that Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, will truly rule forever.